Greetings, groovy people! Welcome to the channel. This is the Blue Dragon, and today we're taking you to Screentone Town. Well, I mean, not really. That's just what's going on in the background. This week's video is a toning of the latest Dark Horse Act 4 revamp page. Holy crap, that's hard to say. And, Dark Horse, it's not safe for work comic, so this video is targeting an adult audience. I really tried to make the background more complex and change the angle of the composition a bit. So I'm going to throw up an example of what the quote-unquote original page looked like, what the old page looked like, and holy shit. While my current page still leaves something to be desired, this older page is just awful, you guys. This isn't even the original version either. That page is a redraw of another page, and it was a mess. The oldest page was done in ballpoint ink, so I'm not even gonna show it. Not even gonna show it. But, I think I was trying to use the Manga Studio Debut 4, which the current incarnation of it is called Clip Studio Paint, I think. While I'm still not the best at screen toning, at least I toned it down a bit. Get it? Such a bad joke. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't even know what that laugh was. I'm real freaking goofy. I need to eat lunch. That's the problem. Anyway, so part of my art resolutions for 2020 is to improve perspective and composition. Also to improve screen toning, but I don't know if I added that on the list. So I actually did use a reference for the top panel. I made sure to find something old as shit so as to avoid copyright problems. But even so, I used the reference and the shot angle, but I tried to make sure that the final image was different and not an exact copy, and definitely looks like my style. So yeah, it looks like shit, so it's my style. I'm kidding. I know, I'm kidding. I like to self-deprecate. Sorry, y'all. For the bottom panels, I was actually flipping through Watchmen and trying to find a way to appropriately show Yuli's Word of Wednesday, alienation. Alienation, not Alien Nation. That was like an old 90s show. My mom loved that. Oh my god, I'm digressing. Anyway, I wanted to kind of, show this for Yuli. And by the way, for newcomers, Yuli, it's Odysseus' nickname. He's the character that's in those bottom panels. I found a full body shot of Dr. Manhattan standing alone on a planet, and a couple other later shots of him sitting cross-legged building something. Now, obviously, those shots in the comic served a different purpose, but I liked, and of course they were better done too, but I liked the idea of seeing the character from behind. So while taking influence from that comic, I made my character, just the back shot so that you can't see his face, you don't know what his emotion is, but I'm trying to convey the emotion through his being hunched over, through his being alone, and just trying to convey, the sorrow, the loneliness, the self-segregation, and as I mentioned, oops, I hit my hand out. And as I said earlier, the alienation that Odysseus is feeling at this point in the story. So I think when I go back and edit these pages for print, I may add a darker screen tone over his back as a way to throw some shadow on him and kind of make him kind of further feel cut off. I don't know if that would work. I want to take a look at it and see what it does. Maybe I'll scrap that idea, but for now, that's kind of something that I've got at the back of my mind for when I edit these pages for print. Yeah, I'm not really sure the words that I'm looking for there. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words. What happened? But yeah, something that I wanted to avoid when toning this page was making the screen tone too busy, as was the case in the original image that I showed. I'll pop it up again here. While I still have so much to learn, I am at least happy to show some improvements from my early days. I know, again, that I've got a long way to go, but I feel like I'm better than this, at least. So there are lots lots of ways to add screen tones, and I'm the first to admit that mine is the most amateur of all. But yeah, an online acquaintance of mine who has his own comic, I'll link that down below. It's Fantomah. It's a prequel to a 1940s, I think it was 1940s comic. But he had linked me, he told me a brand, Deleter, a brand of screen tones that you can buy and do the traditional screen toning, which is how a lot of the mangakas do it in Japan. Naoko Takeuchi and a lot of these shonen authors also, or artists I should say. So yeah, I'm gonna put the Deleter link down below as an Amazon affiliate link, but just a warning, if you do buy it, I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say whether or not they work. I'm assuming that they do because they're used by a lot of professionals, but I haven't tried them myself. But if you do buy them, I'll get money off of something I don't know anything about. So I may get a few cents out of it. So there's a warning for that. But that said, I was watching a tutorial by the artist of a manga, I think he's a self-published artist, but his comic is called Apple Black. It looked kind of interesting. I wanted to check it out. But he had a walkthrough of how to do, just the very basics of screen toning. And I'm going to try to find some other examples to learn how to do it the traditional way. And I may actually want to try it myself in the future. And if I do so, I will share it in a video with you guys. Yeah, the shit way I do it is I just have the the digital copies of Screentones that I bought from Barnes & Noble. I had like a different program, a shoujo thing that I bought, and you could download the Screentones, and I just select the area that I want toned and delete the white from when it was a background layer. It carries the white with it, and then I will just delete the white out so that it's now see-through to the next layer down below, and it's very amateur. Sometimes if I want it to fade out a little bit, I'll use a soft brush when I'm erasing, or I'll even take the lasso tool and I will set the feathering usually to 20%, because otherwise it goes too far away from the original line that I had selected. But yeah, very amateur, not very effective, but that's how I do it. Oh, I need to learn the new way. But a third method I've seen, which is what I really want to learn, is to digitally tone with an actual program. So Photoshop does have plugins that you can buy and upload, but I really don't want to do that. I just don't. I do have Manga Studio Debut 4, which is what I told you guys earlier, Clip Studio Paint, and that's what I see most people who actually screen tone decently using. So I eventually want to try that out again. I'm a little older now. I feel like I have a little bit of a better eye for screen toning, so maybe it'll work better. But in examples that I've seen on the actual Clip Studio Paint website, they have tutorials on YouTube. You can select the intensity of the dots that you want, how many or how large, the size, etc. And then you can designate the specific areas that you want to fill. And I don't really have a lot of information on it. I'm just going off some of the videos that I watched last year. I'm very inexperienced, but their website has a lot of helpful tutorials, so you can check that out. I'm going to have some iCards with some screen tone links in them, because other people are better about doing it and showing it than I am, so I'll spread the love to their channels. Yeah, so the question of the week: do you screen tone? If you work on a comic or images, do you screen tone? And if so, what's your method? Do you have any links or tutorials that you would like to share to help others learn, to help myself learn, as well as others watching this video? So yeah, special thanks go out to my patrons who help make these videos and my comic possible. You know, if I do get those screen tones, it's going to be because of their support, because that's how we budget my art budget. So thank you guys so much for your help. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to become a patron, or you want to give a one-time donation, all that links, Patreon, Ko-fi, Coffee, whatever it is, Subscribe Star, that's all down in the description, as are the links to my free webcomics, which are for adults. Otherwise, you can please like the video, subscribe, and do the bell thing. That also helps spread the word about my comics and the videos that I work on, so thank you for that. Peace and love, fare you well, and keep on trucking.